Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Cecilia, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you've joined us for today's Battery and Metals Precious Metals presentations. Our next live presentation comes from Empress Royalty Corp. Before I introduce our speaker, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the left of the slides. If you are interested in scheduling a meeting with Empress Royalty, please click on the Meetings tab found on the left navigation bar. You'll be able to view the company's availability and submit a meeting request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Alexandra Woodyer-Sharon, CEO and President of Empress Royalty, which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol EMPYF and on the TSX-V under the symbol EMPR. Welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you. I am Alexandra Woodyer-Sharon, the President and CEO of Empress Royalty. We offer a strategic approach to investing in gold and silver. We're listed on the TSX-V under the symbol EMPR, under the OTCQX under the symbol EMPYF. Here are our forward-looking statements. I encourage you to have a read of these. They're also available on our website, as I will be making forward-looking statements throughout the presentation. Our value proposition. We have a strong mining finance team with completed over $6 billion in mining finance transactions, over 250 years of experience, providing a unique access to investment opportunities. At Empress, we create new royalties or streams to get mines into production or to expand upon production capacity, as a result, able to get strong returns. We currently have a diversified portfolio of 17 investments. Again, focused to get mines into production or to expand production capacity. With our diversified portfolio, focus on precious metals, on quality over quantity. We're currently generating revenue, forecasting significant revenue, which will allow us to continue to build the portfolio and drive growth. What are royalties and streams? A royalty is where we invest in a company and we receive a percentage of revenue from that production. A stream is where we invest in a company and we're able to buy silver or gold at a discounted price, typically at 80%. So we're paying 20% of spot price. And at Empress, we do both royalties and streams. And I'll demonstrate that when we get into the portfolio in a few moments. The benefits to an Empress shareholder by investing in a royalty and streaming company is you're getting leverage to the gold and silver price. It's a hedge against inflation, as you're protected from inflationary costs compared to typical mining companies, as we pay also a low percentage of spot price. There's also high returns. Our current portfolio has a IRR in excess of 30%. And you're getting access to a globally diversified portfolio of assets, leveraging the multi-jurisdictional experience of our team. Here there's two charts looking at the royalty company growth. The first one shows royalty companies outperforming the gold price and the gold miners ETF over the last 10 years. The second is a life cycle of a royalty company. We just listed the company 2 years ago. We're in stage one, establishing market presence. We believe with our business strategy, with our team and experience and the type of investments we are making, we'll be able to quickly accelerate to stage two, rapid growth. There's been a lot of new entrants to the royalty and streaming space in the last couple of years. And we view this sort of three types, especially in the junior side. There's the exploration generation. Early stage, typically inexpensive. There's the exploration risk. No guarantee it will turn into a mine. And if it does, there's quite a long lead time to revenue generation. The second type is third-party acquisitions, where the royalty is already in place. So it's a pretty simple acquisition process, but there's no ability to negotiate the terms. It's become quite crowded, so you're part of a competitive bid process and paying a premium, and historically provides low returns. At Empress, we work with mining companies to create new royalties or streams, and we have a direct relationship with the mining company. That's monthly reporting, calls with the company, getting updated information. So we really are very hands-on with our investments to de-risk them. We're able to create flexible structures that work the goals of all party, and we're really able to target our investment dollars into producing assets, which bring revenue into Empress. Our investment manager is Endeavour Financial, been around for over 30 years, won 20 international awards, completed over $750 million in royalty and streaming finance transactions. My background is I'm ex-PwC, and then I joined Endeavour Financial as an analyst, became director of structured finance in London, completed over $1.5 billion in deals. So I'm working with my old team. David Rhodes is the managing director of Endeavour Financial Group of Companies, and he is also our executive chairman. This gives us access to cash flow modelers, financial analysts, mining engineers, geologists, to not only source transactions, quickly vet them, structure, and execute. And what we were really seeing is in the marketplace, and especially on the streaming side, as a financing option for companies, that the streaming companies were doing bigger and bigger ticket sizes of $100 million plus, and the smaller side of the market wasn't being served. And that's why we created Empress, to do sub $25 million financing options and able to get some great returns as a result using our network. How we invest, what is our focus and criteria? From 5 directions, we look at the project stage. So the development stage, or mines that are already in production. We're looking at small to mid-tier size companies, both public and private. When it comes to commodities, we're looking at gold and silver. So we truly are a precious metals royalty and streaming company. And we're global. We are currently in Peru, Mexico, Mozambique, going into jurisdictions we know how to operate and execute in, and also provide great returns as a result. And as I mentioned, our investment size is up to 25 million. The sweet spot for us, and in terms of our evolution of growth, is about $2 to $10 million investment sizes. And all of our investments have a strong ESG focus. Moving into our portfolio, the first one I want to talk about is a mine that we invested in Peru. This mine's currently in production. The mine was started in 2002 by Buenaventura, purchased by the Sierra Sun Group in 2016. Over 1 million ounces have been produced to date. We invested $10 million into this operation to help them expand their capacity up to 1,000 tons per day. We structured this as a gold stream, which means we get 4.5% of their gold at a 20% of spot price or an 80% discount, up to 11,000 ounces. And then we have a 1% life of mine stream on the project. The economics for us is it brings an annual cash flow of about $2 million, just over $2 million. And the asset value of this is $15 million, and that's using $1,750 gold only. We have another project that's just getting into production now. This is the Talahueto mine in Durango, Mexico, owned by Altele Mining. We structured this for $5 million. We get 100% of their silver, up to 1.25 million ounces, and then 20% for 10 years. And again, we're getting an 80% discount, paying 20% of spot price. The annual cash flow from this investment is about $3 million US, and the net asset value is $20 million using $21 silver. Our project in Mozambique is called Manica, owned by a private group called MMP. We invested $3 million, and for that, we're getting 3.375% gold royalty up to 95,000 ounces, and then it's just over 1% life of mine NSR. This one, the annual cash flow is $1.6 million, and the NAV is $5 million, again, using $1,750 gold. This one just got into production in the fall, and it's currently ramping up production as well. We have a development stage asset owned by Candelaria Mining called Pinos in Zacatecas, Mexico. This one's currently development stage. We have a 1% license on a 1% royalty across the entire project. We expect this one to get a lot more interesting as they develop this project. When we launched the company, we had these initial 13 exploration royalties, and we did that as part of our direct listing on the TSX-V. These are great to have in the portfolio, but we're much more focused on producing assets. We have a strong pipeline of opportunities we're looking at. Again, when we launched the company, we've demonstrated we've brought in producing assets into the portfolio. We want to continue to build the portfolio out. There's several opportunities we're looking at the moment. Some are in production, some are pre-production, ranging in the sort of $5 to $10 million range. My personal goal is to get 3 more investments into the portfolio this year and further expand our revenue potential. We're forecasting revenue and significant growth at Empress. We're forecasting about $7 million US using current metal prices coming into Empress this year. Cumulatively, over the next 5 years, that's about just over $50 million in revenue coming into Empress. To date, we've invested $19.5 million into the portfolio. Our net asset value is $47 million, and our market cap is just $30 million US. We trade on a significant discount compared to our peers. Here we're looking at the peer comparison of the sector. If you just look at the PNAV ratio, the average is 1.18 times, and we're at 0.65 times at a 45% discount. You look at the EV revenue ratios, the average is 16.6 times, and we're at an 80% discount. Into the team, the people behind Empress. As I mentioned, David Rhodes from Endeavour Financial is our executive chairman. Jeremy Bond from Terra Capital is also one of our directors. The three of us are on the investment committee. We have Natasha Nakiran, a mining finance lawyer, as our lead director, Paul Mainwaring, a CFA from London, and Wes Roberts, a mining engineer from Toronto. The team is myself. I'm joined by Rich, who's our Global Vice President of New York for origination of investment opportunities. Natasha Minklejohn, our CFO. Caitlin Taylor is our VP Marketing Investor Relations. And we have two excellent advisors, Alison Ritten Armstrong for ESG, and David Lang as our technical advisor. We have a strong shareholder base moving into our capital structure. Roughly 25% is owned by partners, management, and board. 41% is institutional strategic investors. That includes Sprott Asset Management. We did a small private placement in the fall. Rick Rule is now a strategic shareholder in Empress, as well as US Global, just to mention a few. And roughly 34% is in the public float. Currently, we have 113 million shares outstanding. The market cap in Canadian is 40 million, or as I was saying, roughly 30 million US. We have $2 million cash. We have debt facility available to us through Nabari, which is a $50 million accordion. We've roughly drawn down 5 and starting to repay that now, but another $10 million available to us. And we have some independent research coverage through Red Cloud and Research Capital. Since we launched the company just over 2 years ago, we have deployed $19.5 million into 4 key assets. 2 of those assets were development stage, are now turning into production, totaling 3 producing assets generating revenue into the portfolio. We received the first gold revenue in 2021 and the first silver revenue in 2022. Corporately, again, as I mentioned, we listed in the TSX-V in December 2020, on the OTCQB in February 2021, and we recently just upgraded to the OTCQX in January 2023. We have the debt facility available to us, again, about another $10 million to build the portfolio, and we recently just welcomed Rick Rule into our latest financing. Near-term catalyst, we are building the company. Sierra is increasing its production capacity. Talaweto is ramping up production. Manica is ramping up production. With this revenue coming into Empress, we want to continue to invest in our portfolio and expand it with new investments. So a lot of near-term catalysts and growth driving at Empress. The investment case, as we're on the path to rapid growth. We've invested $19.5 million into 4 key assets. We're forecasting $54 million in revenue over the next 5 years. Our net asset value of the portfolio using current prices is $47 million. And currently we're trading at $30 million US, trading a significant discount to our peers. Thank you so much for everyone for listening into the presentation. I'm also, we'll be taking the Q&A. Please send the questions in. You can also reach us at info@empressroyalty.com, and we'll be responding back to all the questions in the next couple of days that have come in. And again, I thank you very much for your time. Caitlin and I are happy to jump on a call, a Zoom, phone call, and answer any further questions that you have. So thank you, everyone.